Do you know that feeling when you want to share your triumph with others? Perhaps it's the joy of a new job, the purchase of a car, or an admiring glance someone casts your way. Phrases are already forming in your head, the tone is being thought through, and yet a strange sensation is brewing inside. Not full-fledged joy, but rather an insatiable hunger. A desire to be noticed, to be recognized, to hear those cherished words. Yes, you are worth something. Bragging isn't a simple manifestation of pride, it's a reflection of an inner emptiness. It's the veiled cry of a soul that has lost its sense of self-worth without the approving cries of others. As a child, praise was perceived as a sign of love. The words, "well done," filled me with warmth, while the lack of attention plunged me into a coldness. Thus, an addiction was born, to be noticed in order to feel alive. And now, as an adult, you continue to seek the same things, only in more complex forms. Status, achievements, likes, success. You seem to live for yourself, but you're quietly turning into an actor on stage, constantly playing the role of a respected figure. But respect earned through bragging is fragile and requires constant replenishment. And so you're once again talking about something important, feeling a growing emptiness inside, as if the more words you speak, the less truth remains. Bragging is a mask of self-confidence that conceals deep insecurity. Paradoxically, it's those who proclaim their successes most loudly who most often feel like failures. True confidence requires no audience, it simply exists. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, "He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know." These words contain a bitter truth. If you're confident in the value of your actions, you don't seek praise. You simply live by them. If you talk about your achievements not to inspire others, but to gain recognition, you're essentially begging for love. Bragging is a silent plea. Please tell me my life isn't in vain. Have you ever noticed how bragging doesn't make you feel better, but rather heavier? It's as if you exhale and become a little smaller. This happens because you're trading a bit of your inner peace for a moment of attention. Psychologists call this the dopamine trap. Every time you're approved, your brain releases dopamine, causing a short-term rush, but it inevitably follows a crash. And to feel needed again, you look for another excuse to talk about yourself. This is how a vicious cycle develops, dependence on the opinions of others. But if you dig deeper, bragging isn't about others. It's about inner pain. The pain of feeling unseen, the pain of the fear of being ordinary, the pain of feeling inadequate. You're afraid that without talking about your successes, you'll lose all your value. That behind all the masks, you're just a human being. And being just a human being feels too little. Think about it. Who do you respect more? Someone who talks a lot or someone who does a lot? Someone who silently creates, builds, helps, without shouting about their importance. They don't need validation because their self-esteem doesn't depend on others' opinions. True strength lies not in display, but in inner confidence. Your worth is determined by who you are, not by what you've done. Your worth is determined by who you are when no one is looking. Bragging robs joy of true happiness. Every time you share joy not out of love, but out of a need for recognition, you give it away. It's like ripping your heart out of your chest to show everyone, look, it's beating. But the more you show it, the less you feel its beat. Real pleasure in life comes in silence, in moments when you're content with yourself, whether anyone knows it or not. It's an inner warmth that requires no publicity, no likes, no comparisons. Sometimes you brag not to impress, but to establish human connection. You want to share your joy, but instead of drawing closer, you build a wall.
Your words don't convey joy, but rather a fear of going unnoticed. And people sense it. Boasting reeks of desperation. It pushes away rather than bring people closer. Face it, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You can simply be, do, create, and rejoice without witnesses. You can be great in silence. Of course, there's no need to hide your pride, but you can learn to express it differently. Don't look at me. Look at how wonderful life is when you're doing what you love. That's the difference between self-praise and inspiration. The modern world is plagued with bragging. Social media has turned us into incessant self-talkers. You open your news feed and see showcases of other people's successes. Perfect bodies, ideal relationships, impressive results. And to keep up, you create your own showcase. You post not for joy, but for survival. And you don't notice how you become part of an endless spectacle. In this din, silence becomes a true luxury. And a person who doesn't need recognition is a force to be reckoned with, because their power is uncontrollable. They are free. You can escape this vicious cycle by stopping proving your own significance. You already matter. You exist, and therefore you are valuable. Do you want people to feel your strength? Just stop demonstrating it, and it will reveal itself. Bragging is noise, but strength is silence. Try spending one day without saying anything, just doing something, helping, creating, learning. In the evening, you'll feel not emptiness, but peace inside, because you haven't wasted your energy trying to prove anything to anyone, but have instead directed it inward, where your true confidence resides. You don't have to be loved just because you're better than everyone else. You don't have to shine to be noticed. You can simply be yourself, quiet, whole, authentic. Let your life speak for you. Let your actions reflect your inner world. Let you have more inner strength and less noise. And you'll see, when you stop looking for someone to notice your light, it will begin to illuminate the path for others. Share in the comments how you feel when you see people bragging. Does it irritate you, or do you recognize yourself in them? Your thoughts matter. Perhaps awareness is the first step to stop seeking validation and start to simply live.
Thanks for watching this video to the end. See you in the next one.